Welcome dear viewer to Hopes Channel Kenya. This is Thinking Cup, and today we have a very special program. Really, if you ask me, a special couple. I have man and wife and their daughter, dear daughter. And I'm going to invite them to be the ones to do their own, they say, intro or introduction, to so to speak. Can I begin with ladies first?
Hello viewers, my name is Gekonyo. I work with the community on social development and also on handling children with neurological disorders. Thank you and welcome.
Next, Ninaye Edina Wanjiko. Did I get it right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Edina?
Yeah. Edina Gekonyo. First of all, the family of Mr. and Mrs. Gekonyo, and I have a talent of singing, and I hope whatever you are here enjoy watching as well.
Thank you so much. Huyo ni Edina Wanjiko Gekonyo. That's what she was saying. She's the first daughter to the Gekonyos. And Mr. Gekonyo, really, Dr. Gekonyo is right here.
Hello viewers. My names are Dr. Francis Gekonyo Wakabi. I teach philosophy at Pwani University. I'm the proud father of Edna Wanjiku. Rose is my wife, and we have two other lovely children, James and Muthoni. Welcome.
Interesting things, if you ask me. What you just heard is very interesting, perhaps profound, but it can get better. We have more coming your way, and this is how we start. We're discussing matters, special needs. Help me understand special needs. What, as a mother, do you understand when you have this topic or when you look at special needs?
Okay, we can view this from different perspectives, but based on the human understanding and definition of special needs, there is what people consider a normal person, a person who is expected to perform or whose faculties, all faculties, function as to people's expectations. Yes. So anyone falling short of these expectations is considered a special needs person.
Right.
This can be a person with handicaps of the many types that we know of. We have physical challenges, physically handicapped people, we have mentally handicapped people, and anyone that falls in that category, lame, the deaf, the mute, and the mentally challenged, they will be considered people with special needs by the society.
Jimmy, do we have any inventory in Kenya regarding this population, this segment of the population, to the best of your knowledge?
I think we do, because we have a functional body taking care of registering persons with special needs. Actually, our daughter is registered with that national body, and I think they are doing a good job trying to map those people with those needs and seeking ways of addressing those needs from a national level and also at regional levels. Yes.
Do we have to the best of your knowledge, we have mainstreamed it in the Constitution, I know.
Sure.
But are we doing enough in terms of not only capturing the membership, the inventory, so to speak,
Okay.
but also addressing their needs, in your view?
In my view, I would say I would appreciate first the efforts that are being made.
This far?
But I would want to say that there is still so much else to be done. So much else to be done. It's good to appreciate whatever that is done. First, that these people and their needs are recognized in our constitution. That our society has made efforts to set up structures to take care of these people and their needs. But what I would say is that there is so much that needs to be done.
Right.
If we even compare our country with other countries out there.
In the region? Or maybe globally?
Yes, globally. So if we were even to compare with ourselves, not that those countries have done all that can be done,
Right.
but I would say if we compare ourselves with those countries out there, there's still so much else that we need to do. So I would say let's not give up. Let's not think we have reached. Let us just say we are on the path and there is a lot to be done.
A sentimental one, Ross. I'm a proud father to my daughter, Edna. That's what he said, your hubby. How do you feel about that?
I'm okay. I really would want to press
He's
further
not
onto
another.
that.
He's not another man out there.
Yeah.
This is a special hobby you have.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying I really wish I would have words to just. He has been very supportive. In fact, I think he has been a pillar of who I am, the mother to this girl,
Right.
because he has walked with me all this while. And I think, judging by what I see in many other heartbroken women who have probably gone through worse,
Yes.
I
You couldn't ask
say
for more.
I wouldn't.
It provoked you to go to school just
Sure.
because of this.
Yes,
What
yes.
is it? What was the trigger point?
When Edna came, first I would say it was a kind of a disappointment to me.
It
Being a
always
first
is.
time
It
mother,
always is.
Yes.
It's natural, isn't it?
Yes. So going through the process of healing and trying to come to terms with the reality that I have
This is
to
it.
face this, yes, and live with it. So came the question, so how do I live with it? There is so much I don't know. And how do I get to know this? So I kept searching, and eventually there was this course that I needed to do.
At KU.
Yes, it was there, and it still is. It's offered there.
How many women do you know think like the way you do, that because of the special need as a parent, I need to equip myself?
Well, it could be 50-50. There are those who really would want to do that, but probably because of
Resources?
and the healing process.
Yes, yes,
Some may
yes.
not have just reached there.
They never overcome the,
Yes.
the trauma.
Sure. Or they probably take too long to get there. And when they get there, it's kind of too late. They feel like they just don't need to do that, because probably this child is grown and
Yes,
they feel
yes.
like it's no use. It's like I have learned to live with the status quo and I'm okay.
Edina, ndugu yako naitwa nani?
James Wakabi.
James Wakabi. Ndugu.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not you who is Jimmy.
Yes,
It is your son.
it's my son.
Well, I got it wrong. Na mwingine?
And my small sister,
Yes, your small sister. Congratulations, yes.
Mother,
Mudzoni, how old is she?
she's 4 years now.
4 years. You love being with her
Yeah,
and playing with her?
yeah.
How have you managed that, Doc?
Well, I would say,
How in the world did you do that?
first of all, I believe in God.
Oh, yeah?
And when I get to the Bible, I realize there is even a deeper meaning of this of special needs. I would say the account that she gave
Yes.
is the ordinary level
Of responding.
of responding to special needs.
Yes.
When you get deeper into the Bible, special needs get more complex.
Yes.
I'll give an example.
Yes.
There are several verses in the Bible where Christ talks about people who have eyes but do not see, who have ears.
There'll be a whole lot of us.
Yes, but do not hear.
Yes.
That kept me thinking.
Yes.
And as I have interacted with my daughter, I realized, in as much as I think she has special needs, she has made me realize I have special needs too.
More.
Sure, because I need to understand her, and it hasn't been easy trying to find a way of understanding
That's
her.
right.
And it's not her fault.
No.
It has something to do with my level of awareness.
And exposure.
Yes, and exposure. And that makes me think that there are different levels of special needs. We even have spiritual special needs.
Exactly.
We have psychological special needs. And I would say anything that stops us from participating and acting in ways that God desired us to do.
Yes.
Those are needs we need to address. And they may not be impairments. Impairments are the physical ones that everybody can easily identify. But there may be other hidden limitations and obstacles that hinder us from fulfilling our purpose as humans. And also support others to fulfill their purpose in life. And those two are needs that we need to identify and fix.
Wow. Ross, so you have your baby, you love your mother, you have your baby, this is it. How did you begin the journey? Where did you say, okay, I need to begin from here? What was it like?
Very hard at first, very painful. It's like acting from a point of ignorance, because this was not just another baby.
She's been in your womb for 9 months, like any other.
Yes, yes.
And you're a mother for intense.
A very good pregnancy.
Of course it was.
But when the baby comes, it's not a continuation of the story.
Did someone warn you? Was there a scan, anything?
There was a scan. Everything was normal. There was nothing wrong with the baby.
Are you saying
really.
to me that even after you've seen the scan with the doctor, you could be prepared? Were you going to tell mothers? Be prepared for anything?
I wasn't prepared for what I saw. Okay, the complications came during delivery. This child had strangulation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that now caused the many problems that came thereafter.
Yes,
because they were not. Yes, they were not able to tell that at the last stage. So it was until they discovered that the fetus was having distress, and by that time it was rather late. Yes, so they had to just conduct the delivery, vacuum extraction,
yes.
And now that was the beginning of the problems. After that, incubation. So
how long was that?
She was incubated for 7 days, about 8 days, then observed for another 1 day, and then we were discharged. But it was quite difficult. It was a very difficult journey because this child, very weak, not able to suckle, and it was hard. But
did you have any support system professionally? From the hospital itself?
The hospital,
nothing,
fine.
Zero.
But from there, it was myself, my husband, and my family and friends. That was it.
14 years ago?
Yes, yes. So it was actually very hard for me to know exactly what was happening to my daughter. And I was in and out of very many hospitals and seeing a pediatrician after another, trying to understand what can I do for this lovely child. And it was not until after 9 months with this kid, I'm now back at home just waiting for whatever happens because I don't know. But just a friend came and told me, I think I know where you can take this child.
And where was that?
I was taken, the friend actually took me to Cerebral Palsy Society of Kenya. That's why I began therapy.
Okay.
There were no other very serious challenges, although she was very sickly, quite often in and out of hospital, very frequent infections. It was really tough. But when we went there, at least I got to know what the many pediatricians had told me about, because it used to tell me, this your child needs occupational therapy. I was very naive. I
What
didn't
does the word
understand.
mean? I don't
Yes.
even know myself, Doc.
Exactly,
What is
yes.
occupational therapy? Some Greek something?
If I would put it simply, it's some kind of treatment involving exercises on the body
Yes.
to strengthen the muscles,
Yes,
so
yes.
that movement can be possible. If I may
Coordinated
put
with the
it
brain.
just that way, yes.
Right. Doc, as she talks,
Yes.
I'm just thinking, as a father, as a husband, looking at your wife struggling,
Yes.
the mother instincts, wanting to give the very best. What was your struggle like?
Well,
Other than the bills, of course, I can't even begin to imagine
Yes.
how much you spent.
the bills were a lot that is there. But I think the greatest challenge was to figure out how to move on.
Right, right.
Sometimes, you wonder whether the problem came in through some negligence of professionals, but that route would take me to legal suits.
Yes.
And you don't want to take money away from a child who is so badly in need.
Yes, yes.
So that's not a route I wanted
You
to
crossed
take.
it.
I crossed that one out.
Right.
I focused on looking at the welfare of my daughter, just as she was. And the first point was prayer.
Wow.
We put all this to God. We promised that if she made it, because the doctors had told us she may or may not make it,
Wow.
we promised that if she made it, we would love to see what God would want to do with her life. And he hasn't disappointed.
Not at all.
This girl has grown through many challenges.
Yes.
She could not breastfeed at those early ages.
Yes.
We used to just extract the milk manually,
Wow. Wow.
but she couldn't walk at a time when her peers were walking
Yes.
or talk.
Yes.
But we believed in God,
At some
and
point.
we knew that at some point God would make it happen.
Yes.
And it was a lot of joy when we saw her accomplishing milestones in her own way,
Developmental
at her
milestone.
own
Yes,
pace.
at her own pace.
And we are happy now to see her realize that she has great talent in music. We have worked very closely to help her realize that, because just as I said, every one of us has a purpose in life.
Definitely.
It doesn't matter how one looks. It doesn't matter what problems one has gone through. So what we have been trying to figure out is, what is her purpose? What is it that
Why
she
did
can
God
do
allow
best?
this to happen?
Yes.
Ultimately.
And what can she do with her, just as she is? And one thing we have come to see is that God has made her sing. That's why I have all this. And her music has been wonderful.
All right.
It has challenged us.
I'm going to come back to you on,
Sure. On that.
shortly later on that. Edna, nipatie vitu viwili unavyopenda. Moja kuhusu chakula, kingine kile unapenda kufanya. Chakula gani unapenda zaidi?
Napenda kula pilau.
Pilau.
Yeah. Yeah. And my favorite thing to do, first of all, wapenda watoto wadogo.
Watoto wadogo. Unapenda watoto wadogo.
Yeah. The age of 2 years, 1 year, 8 months, watoto ambao ni wakuu shikwa
Watoto wa kushikwa kwa mkono.
and I'll be telling it when I grow up. I would like to have my own daycare of small kids.
You want to have, when you grow up, your
Yeah.
own daycare for small kids.
Yeah, little kids.
Wow.
And so that parents can be disorganized working and they cannot go with a baby at park.
Yes.
So they can come to my daycare,
Yes.
baby, let the baby to me, and I try my best to take care of this baby at my own stand, at my own pace, and I have been tied several times with my auntie's friends who are from small babies, and they tell me good when I go to touch the friends who are small babies, so they give them to me,
Yes.
because they know I can do it.
Wow.
And
Ross,
Yes.
you have a daughter here
Yes.
who has all the dreams of life. She wants to have a daycare
Yes.
and put in children from families that are challenged, and she wants to pour her love to those kids. And she wants to see them grow up, and she wants to hold them.
Yeah, sure.
What does that do to you as a woman, looking at your daughter?
First of all, it really encourages me that actually nothing was lost.
She speaks it from you.
Uh,
You have mentioned
I want to
a woman.
believe it, yes.
You know that? You've mentioned a woman here.
And other than that, I think this is a God-given gift.
Okay.
That's why I
Let's
say,
listen to her again.
Okay, not really that I fixed that
From me.
Oh, it is from that?
No,
No.
when I was growing,
When you're growing.
I saw some other girls
Yes. You saw some other girls?
there
Yes.
picking the baby, walking with them, or the others carry them on their back.
And so you liked that?
Oh, I didn't like that. And when I tried, when I tried
Yes.
myself, I thought it was fun.
To have,
Yeah,
to take care of a child
yeah, to
yourself.
take care of
It was fun.
myself. Yeah. So I keep on trying, and I started watching Oliver.
Yes.
Wherever I was going, I started watching if there is someone that have a baby which can be held.
Okay.
And in the past it is difficult for
you.
me.
But you have continued to work on it.
But for people actually giving their baby to me
Wow. Wow.
because I was so weak in the
I
past,
can hear you.
but
I can hear you.
now I am
Able.
able.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doc, do you understand what's going on with your daughter? She has corrected me. I didn't get it from mom.
Yes.
I saw it with other girls. I saw them taking care of children. And I thought to myself, I want to do it.
Yes.
But I was weak. I couldn't do it, but I kept telling myself I'll work and work. And now with time, I'm able to do it because I've gained strength. I'm now able.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you understand is going on there?
Now,
I don't know whether that's philosophical or it's whatever. Tell me
Actually,
something.
there is something that we learned through that experience.
Yes.
she desired to do what every other girl was
To be
doing.
a normal person.
Yes.
To be understood, she's a normal girl.
True.
Like every other girl.
Yes.
Sure.
And since she was weak, because her muscular motor system is
Depressed.
now it was difficult for us to manage allowing her to fulfill her desire
Yes.
and not harm the babies.
Yes.
And our friends and other people in the community were also worried that their kids, if allowed to be held by hand,
Some
she was
stereotyping
insisting,
also.
yes. But I think a bit of care,
Yes.
a bit of concern, but now managing that so that we don't discourage that desire.
Yes.
And at the same time, we don't put kids on harm's way again.
Yes.
That wasn't easy.
No.
But some friends were very supportive, telling us, don't worry, let us just keep watch and give her a chance. And through those kinds of supportive actions,
Yes.
she has nurtured that love for kids.
Wow.
And now she's strong enough to hold them on her own
Yes.
and walk around without us fearing so much that the kids may drop off
Yes.
or something else.
From where you sit, Ross, you are seeing a woman she's developing.
Yeah,
Your
sure.
daughter is 14 years. For intents and purposes, she's teenaging now. What does that do to you?
Maybe first of all, to add on to what Daddy has said,
Yes.
there is something that I was saying before she took over,
yes.
and I was saying that what she desires to do just reaffirms to me
Yes.
that she's just another natural, complete whole
Child
woman.
like every other.
Yes.
Needing your
That-
attention as a
yes,
mother.
there's a motherly instinct in
Yes.
her that just
So-
makes her
so
feel that
they're so
I should bring them
expressed.
here. Yes, I should bring these kids here, and that's a gift.
It is.
It's not in every other woman.
No.
So I realized, wow, my daughter has got this other gift. Apart from the other talents that
That
she has, this is beautiful.
Right.
And I love her attitude.
Yes.
The go-getter that she
Yes,
is.
yes.
She didn't mind.
I have to ask whose it is, but keep going.
Yeah, because even though people kept on telling her, she still,
Worked at it.
yeah,
And went after
she
it.
kept reassuring them, I can, and I can, I can. Until right now, as I sit here, I don't think any woman would feel uncomfortable giving her the kids.
No.
Much as we have seen the Lord really bring her. It has been a long journey, and she's much stronger than she was. But it is her attitude, and that makes her the complete girl that she is. It's very, very encouraging to me.
We're going to short
You know?
break shortly, but before we do that, Doc,
Yes, please.
you mentioned that your first response was prayer.
Yes.
What were you praying for?
We
Praying
had
for her? Praying for her? Praying for yourself? What were
praying
you
for
praying?
all of us, because we had waited for her eagerly for a whole 9 months.
Wow.
We didn't want to get a disappointment.
No.
We prayed for her life. We wanted to have her just the way she would be, as long as she lived.
Yes.
And I still believe myself that since life is such a precious gift,
Yes.
and everything else is just a gift
Yes.
on top of life, it does not matter what comes with it. It may come with a package, not so much
Expected.
the expected one, but as long as it is there, something can be done with it. So we desired that she lived, and we prayed that God just worked away that we didn't lose her, because that risk was there.
Yes.
And we also prayed that God may let us know what to do,
Yes.
because we were completely in the dark about what to do
Yes.
with a child like this.
Yes.
And that is what we were praying. Lord, let her live. And as she lives, let us know what to do so that she can have as full a life as possible.
If you ask me, this is positive parenting. Positive energy. You don't get this kind of thing except on Hope Channel Kenya, on Thinking Cup. Or we get this kind of people, a couple here, who are doing everything they need to do to make sure, and you have seen it, you've heard it, Edna is not letting life pass by itself. She's going after life. She wants to live like any other woman, despite the challenges she has, you've got more coming. If you thought you've had enough, don't even touch that remote control. Welcome back, dear viewers. This is Thinking Cup. We have the Gekonyos, and we're dealing with special needs. You have on the set a very dear girl, Edina Gekonyo, Wanjiko Gekonyo, she says. And I'm just amazed at what she is. You don't want to go away because this is really special. Edina, uko darasa gani? 7.
Yeah.
Una marafiki wangapi? The whole class. Wow, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. Wewe darasa nzima, the whole class are your friends.
Yeah.
Do you have close friends? Just one close?
No.
No?
No.
Everyone is close. Which is the school? The name of your school?
I am related to from village academy, not to my auntie's place, but after some time, it is difficult for me
Yes.
to continue
In that school.
in the
What school that is again?
village.
Bridge.
Bridge Academy.
Bridge Academy. Where is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Ruiru, just
Oh,
as good
in
near
Ruiru.
Ruiru,
You
yes.
guys are in Ruiru town.
Sure.
Yes.
It's difficult for me to start second time
Yes.
with them because sometimes they hate me, they
Bully you?
bully me
Yes.
a lot.
Yes.
Sometimes they stop, helping me.
Yes. Yes.
Or you can see they make some arrangement.
Yes.
And it's like they put me off in that arrangement. So
You had to.
I really feel so bad.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
ask myself, what is the need of staying in this class? Because it's like I'm not gonna be of that class. I'm not loved.
At all.
I'm not understood. So it is difficult for me.
Did you hear what your daughter is saying? She's saying, look, I went to bridge school, but I wasn't, at some point I wasn't being supported, I wasn't being helped, and sometimes they would take me away from ordinary things, so I began asking myself questions. What's the point of struggling with people who don't even want to understand me? That is not a simple primary school question. You understand what I'm talking about, Doc? Did you get that story before you moved on to the next school?
Oh yes, actually it has been a journey. That is, I think, the 4th or 5th school we have been to. To begin with, at the initial stages, since she was quite weak and had a number of medical needs that we wouldn't have been able to address while at home, we tried taking her to some special place where they deal with quite a number of special needs and they have a number of professionals. But she didn't like that side of an institution
That is
where kids that have various special needs are pulled together. She said no.
it traumatized
It
her.
traumatized
Yes,
her. So she insisted. She stayed there for a term and she told us, no, I don't want to live here. I want to live like everyone else.
Normal life.
Normal life. That meant taking her to integrated schools where there are no special arrangements for kids. The expectation then would be that everyone else would be accommodated
And accept.
and accept her. But you see now, that is not the case that we have in schools. And I can't blame the schools.
No.
Because special schools have people trained to deal with various kinds of special needs.
Right.
Now, if my child feels that is not the place for me,
No.
the alternative now is to be in a school where people are not properly trained to take care of her needs. That includes also the kids that she has to live with. So I first of all appreciate those schools
Yes.
for accepting to
Have them.
have her in their school.
Yes.
I also appreciate the effort they have made to understand her and her needs
Yes.
and try to address them.
Yes.
That the difficulties she has had
Yes.
may not be their own making. One thing I would say is kids are kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids would want to play.
Yes.
They want to compete.
Yes.
They want members of a team who would help them win
Pair up in
in
team
the
and
games.
win.
Yes. So when they find that she wants to join their
She
team,
doesn't add value.
yes,
Also, they
those,
think.
those kinds of things.
Yes.
So those are the things that have frustrated her. That look, I want to play like others. I want to jump like others. I want others to make me part of their team. But when some of those frustrations come, that everyone is keeping off, everyone is feeling we want to do it better without you now, and she's the only one in that school, then it has been difficult. So we have had to switch from school to school because again, when we press that she be treated in particular ways, accommodated in particular ways, integrated in particular ways, that comes at a cost for the school.
And can also be arrogant.
And can, yes.
Can be
So,
perceived that you're being
sure.
unfair.
And other parents also can complain.
Yes.
Our teachers can't just take their time taking care of one child.
One person.
Our kids can't be forced to take care of another child. Let them take care of themselves. So those kinds of attitudes have been there, but not so bad, I would say, given the circumstances.
Yes, yes.
And we have had to switch from one school to another, get to see whether we can be accommodated. And actually, as we speak, we are going to Kilifi.
Right.
We have...
On your way today?
Yes. We
Not
know.
today.
We have
Soon.
realized that, again, our distance.
Yes.
Because I have to keep working.
Yes.
And I keep coming over.
Yes.
That has affected her. And she has prevailed on me to find ways of ensuring that we are together
Yes.
again.
Yes.
And
Daddy, daughter.
yes, that has informed the
feel
decision.
envious?
Yes. That has informed the decision
No
now.
matter if your baby's fine. Right. I'm going to ask you, Ross. Do you think we have invested enough for you mothers out there? You've gone to school. You're a professional. You can relate to this situation a little bit easily with understanding. I'm thinking, let me take you to the village, I don't know where. A woman who has no exposure, no supporting husband like that. What do you think will be the challenge?
I don't have the best term to explain what that challenge would be. In fact, it's more than hard. It's more serious than terrible.
Yeah.
Because one, as a parent or as a mother, we hardly train to
There's
be
no
special.
school for training mothers.
To be special.
Even for ordinary.
Yes.
Yes.
We never train to be special case mothers.
Right.
So when it comes, it simply hits you off balance. So you can imagine how hard it is for that parent out there who has not had an opportunity to interact with other parents who have probably gone through the same.
Right.
And sometimes even living in a society that looks at all this thing with a lot of negative
Mistrust, suspicion, and blah, blah, blah.
There are all these myths. This
Yes.
could be witchcraft. And when we come to, even in the spiritually,
Right, in
there are
church.
people who feel these people are accursed, they are too much of sinners. And you see, so that parent out there who
Yes.
has not been able to get what some of us have,
Yes.
it can be very difficult.
Yes.
If I were to cite myself as an example,
Yes.
before I went for that training, or even before I got that friend who took me to that society, It was very, very hard for me. I remember I used to lock myself in the house.
And cry.
Yes. Yes. I didn't know what else to do. Because you go out there, you are bombarded with so many questions and some nasty comments that really break and crush your heart.
Yeah.
So you don't want to go out there. You don't want people to ask you. That included family. I didn't want to hear any question or comment from anyone else.
Family.
Apart from the father,
Right.
who was very close to
Yes,
us.
yes,
And I'm forever grateful for
Yes,
him.
yes,
And
yes.
I'm
I
grateful
hope you
to
know
be
that,
for
sir.
him. Yeah.
I do, and I appreciate
You need
a
to
lot.
know it when you're alive, not when you're dead.
Sure.
Sure. So I think there is need for the society, beginning with the church that we are. We
Yes.
have been called as missionaries.
Yes.
And we have a commission to go out there and sensitize the society.
And we know Jesus
that
worked with
these
these people.
things are real. And like he said, even in those times, even God knows that there are these people with special needs.
Yeah, we don't provide
It was
for...
there with Moses, yes.
Yes.
And at least he has said that at the end of it all, there will be jubilation.
Yes.
The lame
Yes.
will walk.
Yes.
They will jump around
Yes.
like calves.
The Bible promises
yes,
that.
So God knows that these people will be there in the society. So I think we have a duty to go out there and reach those people at the grassroots who probably lock themselves up in the houses like I used to do.
Yes, yes.
And tell them that, look,
It could be
this-
locking yourself in the house or locking up your child.
yes,
Doc, at the government level,
Yes.
what is your take? Has the government, maybe in Kenya, and we're not vilifying anyone, but we're saying, have we done enough? Do you think there is enough support? Or it's more political than it is practical?
I think the base is there,
Yes.
but there's a lot of work to be done,
Right?
and at several levels. One would be awareness.
Yes.
People need to be aware that these are part of us, and anyone can be that way.
Yes.
If you look at the causes of disability, there are many.
Yes.
Accidents
Yes.
cause
yes.
disability.
Yes.
But people take accidents casually.
Yes.
You tell people
So
to belt
casual, yes.
up. You tell people to belt up. They feel like they are doing it for the police. That can lead them.
You can't say more right than that. It is all right.
That can lead them to special needs.
Right?
You talk of wars and conflicts.
Yes.
Sometimes when people play around with fights and violence and quarrels, though sometimes we have met kids who are caught up in some of those kinds of things,
Yes.
and they now have special needs.
Yes.
Sometimes it has to do with feeding, the way we feed.
Stunted kids.
That too can lead to special needs. So there are so many
Causative factors.
Yes, causative factors. So awareness can help us know that we may not be there, but we can be there anytime if we don't take care of certain other factors.
For
So
you,
I think
Doc,
awareness.
for you, Doc, is it more a will thing or a resource thing that is lacking?
Both, I would say both.
Both.
Because the moment there is a limitation in will, even resource will not
Budgeting
be
for it will
allocated.
not be
It will
forthcoming.
not be there. And I think also, the moment we look at special needs as a matter of just impairments,
Right. Yes.
then we miss the
That's
point.
quite a limitation.
Because what can help us deal with special needs is an awareness that these are humans like us,
Yes.
and that they need to live a full life, and that each of us must participate in making that happen. So if we feel like it has to do with that commission for disability or that particular organization, it has to do with those, or it has to do with special schools,
Yes.
and we don't see our role in it,
Yes.
then we miss the point. So I feel it is both a resource matter
Yes,
and also a will matter.
Let me ask you another question, Doc. I'm just looking at the way we do our roads, civic engineering. I'm looking at how we do our houses.
Yes.
I'm looking at the kind of vehicles we have. Our schools.
Sure.
Have we provided infrastructure? Does everyone even factor that in? That some of the students that come in on our roads could have limitations, really not impairments, so to speak.
Sure.
And need some deliberate provision for their mobility.
Actually, you have said it, Ken. If you go to our matatus, have
Yes.
you ever found a matatu with some provision for persons with special needs?
Right.
They are not there. So when they go there, they have to improvise.
Yes.
And that is upon them. We put the burden on the person with disability to find his or her way and comfort in the vehicle.
And if they think they can work with it.
That is it. So I think I'm saying we have the base because the law is there.
Yes.
But now the implementation of that law, the provision and allocation of resources to ensure that that happens, the awareness and education and even training to enable the resources do what they need to do. And I think also exposure. People
Yes.
need to see what other people elsewhere are doing for their...
That you can have a bus with special seats where certain people can sit.
Yes.
The aged in society, those with special needs can sit.
You are right.
These are things we can do. Mami, I don't want to sign off before, Ross, we talk about her talent. Tell me, have you been keeping track of her talent? It's music, she said.
Yes.
What is your thinking? How are you going to project her, help her articulate it?
First, I would say her dream, she says that the sky can
Is the
never be the
limit?
limit. It can never be the limit.
She knows that.
Yeah. This is a God-given talent that began very early when she was only about 3. And she has grown with it. I have seen it move and grow into what it is now. We have it on DVD.
Yes.
And she hopes to make it even better. She can actually, at this time, she can record like another 2.
What does she do with music? Violin? Piano?
Instruments, no.
No.
She just composes
Audio.
and sings.
Another
Yes.
funny cross-by in the 21st century?
I think so.
It happens.
There's
It
no
has happened.
there's no written musician in the whole human history like Fanny Crosby. She did 12,000 pieces of music. Are you
Yeah.
telling me that this could be another happening right
Yes,
now?
Yes. In fact, the songs could be much more. It's only that we were not very keen
At first.
as we moved with the many challenges
Just
along the
struggling with
journey.
acceptance.
Yeah, she used to sing and there's another song. She sings and it goes. Then at some point we realized that it's like we were wasting a talent. So there's so much music that has been lost along the way.
Yes.
So given that now we have started tapping it, I just cannot even imagine how far she can go. And given that it's a talent she has and she wants to do it, she's also quite gifted in public speaking. I just love listening to her as she speaks.
Yes.
She can preach in church. She's a wonderful preacher.
The church you see the Suru
Murera.
Morera. Yes, Morera.
Yes, in Ruiru. So I am just waiting upon God to see how far He takes her.
And that he makes
Because-
you faithful in supporting her.
Yeah, sure.
Before I sign off, just one statement, I don't know whether she can make it. What is it you will tell your friends listening to you? In that camera? This one?
Okay.
This camera, this one? Yes. Yes.
Okay. I would like to tell my friends who have challenges, difficulties, and also who are in the villages situation. I would like to tell them that God has told us in the word that we are God's fearfully and wonderfully made. And like He has created in His own image. And He knows the beginning and then the end. So it is try
Yes.
our best to overcome
Yes.
and and let us as with able to let us to show off to the whole world that when we are talented, when we have difficulties, we can do something big.
Wow.
Education,
Wow.
education.
This
You can
is
show that the world it's not that we are trying to feedback,
Yes.
but we are trying to show how God is. He is powerful to people who are challenged and also who have disabilities. That also to share with them that every day wherever they go and what they do, I would like to tell them, be saying about of Philippians chapter 4
chapter 4, Philippians,
verse 13,
verse 13.
which says, I can do all this through Christ who gives me strength.
Amen.
So let us do, and let us show the whole world and the whole country and little people who are near us that we can do all this.
Wow.
Through Christ
Wow.
who gives us strength.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, Edna is speaking there. I'm listening to her. She begins by saying, look, I want to tell my friends and those with special needs, challenges, and disabilities. That's what she said. I'm quoting her verbatim. To know that they can do everything. God has created them with a talent, with abilities. Let us not sit back and think that we can't do much. Let's come and try. She says, let's try and do our best. And then she says, I want to quote Philippians chapter 4 and verses 13. I can do all things through Christ, she says, who strengthens me. You are sitting there. You don't have the same challenge that she might have. Are you doing everything with what faculties you have today? Rose, say to a word to a mother. In 5 seconds. My time is up.
Thank you. Be encouraged. These are very special children, like she said, created in God's image to do the undoable and to reach the world and impact on people positively. So for no reason, don't take your child out there to the streets for whatever reasons. Please love them and appreciate them and make them be whatever they can be. Thank you.
Your daughter said, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Doc, one word.
I believe it. Every one of us, as long as we have been given a chance to live, has a special purpose. Let's look for it. Let's not give up. Let's not just rule out anyone. Let's be ready to learn, and you'll find something wonderful in every one of us, regardless of whether we have some impairments or not.
On Twitter, on FB, whatever way you can reach out to us, please. I can assure you we're going to have these guys again back as a couple. But you realize that as Thinking Couple at Hope Channel Kenya, we mean business. This is a special couple. And I know that someone watching this, someone listening to us, you have questions that are going over your mind. Please do find them at us. Give us a shout. This is all happening at Hope Channel Kenya. Thinking Cup it is. From us today, it's bye.